Studios as well. Relays with us for the first of the night, the first of 12 on a massive card. 3 Group 1s, super racing later on this evening, and we kick it off with the Grade 5. And the favourite in the black and white stripes, Chris Tessa at $1.70. The green light is turned on, and the lure's on the move. They are set to run. Ready? Racing. Chris Tezza jumped well. Speed, whatever he said initially, but Chris Tezza across to the rail. Fequay Calvin's up on the outside, and Nangar Charms driving through, but then had to check off heels. So Kenya Adira's on the march and gets up to second. Down the back, Chris Tezza, 2 lengths, leads from Kenya Adira, pushing through Fequay Calvin, coming again. Then Nangar Charm clear on whatever he said, and Paul Harris at the rear. Leader Chris Tezza, favourite goes well. 2 in front of Fequay Calvin, then Kenya Adira. It's Chris Tezza in front, getting tired, but we'll see it out. Chris Tessa won the first, beat Fequay Calvin, and Nangar Chalmers run third, ahead of fourth Kenya Adira and Paul Harris fifth. Last of the 6 was whatever he said, and the time on the opener is 30 and 28. Favourite wins, Chris Tessa.
Nathan Rooney salutes, and Kayla Cottrell, a pretty easy watch from your point of view, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. She's a pretty safe beginner, the bitch, so no, it was nice to get that win, and yeah, now head to the launching pad.
Could be the start of a big night. Fade to black later on in the Fano Bale. A lot of conversation about him and his performance last week. One, what did you make of it, and what do you expect tonight?
Yeah, look, I can see why people thought it was a little bit of a disappointing performance. I'm not too harsh on the dog. He's just had a campaign in Brisbane and he's come back. He went super his first run back. Maybe second up just took a toll on the dog, but look, he's firing to go. There's, nothing looking at him wise, anything wrong with him. He's pretty happy in himself, the dog, so hopefully he can bounce back. But he's done a pretty good job, the dog, to travel and come back down and keep backing it up, so he'll be right.
And just before we wrap up the chat, Chris Tessa, you said going to the launching pad now. For those wanting to follow her towards that series, what improvement do you think she's got left?
I think she's got plenty of upside. She's only a young bitch. She's got really good early speed, which is great to have in a bitch, and obviously heading towards a launching pad, that's sort of a key factor you want to have in a greyhound. So that's her last win now, so we've sort of got to hold her up for the launching pad. But yeah, I think she's going to be very nice moving forward.
Congratulations. We'll chat later on.
Thank you, Ta.
Kayla Cottrell there, guys. Chris Tessa, first out, first home. Easy as that, boys.
Great stuff there, Jace, with Kayla. Yeah, pretty painless watch there for Chris Tessa followers. She just went straight to the front. She just pinched that brake on Fequay Calvin there going into the first turn, and she exploded away, held on to win. Workman-like win, 30-27, probably roughly in the ballpark of what we would have expected there, but for favourite punters, she got the job done, Nath.
Yeah, I think the rails draw and being able to hold the fence and kick through that corner, that was where she pinched the race in the first 100, 150 metres. She was able to hold Fequay Calvin early and then just pinch the gap through the catching pen, and then from there she was out and rolling. Fequay Calvin was the obvious main danger on paper, got within a length and a quarter, but was never really going to pick her up, I didn't feel. And then, Nangar Charm worked home well. First look at the track, he'll be one to most probably put in your black book and go forward, because Ray Smith wouldn't have bought it here unless, it's got ability. He's taken it to Wenny. So it's a greyhound that he's obviously got some sort of opinion on. And they're always building his runners. So just won the black book. He'll pop back over the border again shortly when he comes over. And it'll be further improved. And Kenya Adria was up on speed early. Got a little bit tired. I was actually surprised when she lobbed second. I thought she was going to be the obvious danger for a bit. But she just dropped off in the run to the line. Nothing flash on the clock. Duck 5:15, 18:03, 30:27. As you said, workman-like. I thought it might have been a bit quicker, but let's first look at the track and we'll just see how this track plays. But nonetheless, bit of a painless watch for followers in race 1.
It was, and Fequay Calvin there showed a bit of a return to form there. I think if he can go back to sail in either a 4:35 or a 5:10 race, the Whelans will be pretty happy with that second there.
So Chris Tessa wins the opener here on Australian Cup night. She spoke about the launching pad, guys, and we looked at her most recent start before, which was that 29.58 at Sandown. I mean, what's your judgment when it comes to comparing times between here at the Meadows and also Sandown, given she has gone 30 and 28, which to me is certainly probably 4 lengths slower than her Sandown time? Is that the same way you look at it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought she would have most probably led and run 30 O's to 30 and 10. So I thought she's most probably a couple of lengths off, but, it is first look at the track, and with these, warm 30-degree days, there might be that little bit of extra water on the track now, and they just keep matting it off as the night goes on, and they might get quicker. So, we're only going on what we've seen, but nonetheless, she's got a 29.5 next to her name at Sandown, and that's where Kayla's heading in a couple of weeks. And with only 40 slots available this year, it's going to be, some high-quality greyhounds, and you know, they're obviously set her for it, and she'll be better for that run. That's 2 weeks between runs as well, Jay, so she'll strip fitter. And yeah, all roads lead to Sandown in a couple of weeks for Chris Tesser in the launching pad.
Yep, indeed, and a familiar face, at least for us, and I'm sure for a few viewers as well, with Troy Little a part as the ownership group. There he is in the